Hilchas Bircot Hashachar. We are holding by Seif Nun base. So we said that the Korban Torah, when there is the union of the Pidyon HaKoilel, is a combination of Chometz and Matzah together, this union of Shavuos, and this union of Korban Torah that includes the first of all will never be mevatel. That's point number one. Point number two is that it includes the first two steps. That first of all you eat matzah, and the korban matzah, first of all you bring matzahs, three kind of matzahs, and then you bring the chalos toida, which is chametz, on korban toida. So it also says that that's the principle. Should always, first of all, you go for total emunah, like you don't have to do anything, because Baruch will take care of it for you. And then, once you have the emunah down pat, then you can go ahead and do what you need to do in this world, knowing full well that there's no Torah. Because Baruch is the one who runs everything kirtzoiner, the way he wants it. So that's why it's always, he says that, and the same thing is also in Torah and mitzvahs. Because in Torah, Lamaisa, the one thing that you really need, that you really, really need, is the Ratzon, is the will. Now, and ultimately, if you have the Ratzon, you don't have the capability to fulfill it, it's okay. Torah says so before us, Ratzon as a mitzvah, somebody wanted to do a mitzvah, and he was forced, he was coerced, Velo as I didn't do it. Me'alalav ha'kosav ki lo aso. The kosav, puts on him, writes on as if he did it. As if he actually did the mitzvah. The Rebbe says this is only good for somebody who wants to be yotze with the kosav will say, yeah, it's like he did it. He says, but if somebody wants the mitzvah itself, he says, it doesn't, he's not cool with the idea that okay, it's considered as if you did it. What's the mitzvah? That don't want to be the consideration. So for such a person, it's true that he should finish the mitzvah. But even here, we're talking about Isgabra Sarotza. We're talking about a fortifying of the will and the resolution to do the mitzvah. It's good, it's like with Parnas. Well, how can you do this? How can you do that? How can you get things done? How can you? Because you don't have the ratzon for it. If you have the ratzon for it, people have a ratzon for it, they have a heart. They go and they're focused on one thing, and Mishalayim, they let them. But the point is that should always start with the ratzon. So says, even with the Torah and mitzvahs, however, you need to learn, you need to do mitzvahs, just do the best you can. So this kind of so where's the balance? So do you have to, or do you don't have to? So we also said that's a secret of the Osid Lavai. That's a secret will be revealed. The Osid Lavai. This is about the Inyan Toida that will reveal, that will remain Osid Lavai as well. As it's like this, Vakem b'Shavuos mevim shtei lechem mechametz daikon. That's when Shavuos already you bring two lechem, the two breads, dafka from chametz, from leavened bread. That signifies the union of Torah. Pesach and Shavuos Pesach and Shavuos are really two ends of one stick. They are really connected to one another. From the morning after the Sabbath until the morning after the Sabbath. And here we're talking about the Yom Tov. We're not talking about we're not talking about Shabbos from this. And what happens is that the matzah of Pesach in the very beginning is included with the chometz of Shavuos together. That constitutes Korban Torah. As we said, Korban Torah includes both chometz and matzah. So that's Pesach and Shavuos. They're actually one thing. And then what do? You read Megillas Rus, who was a convert, if you remember, we're talking about, the Torah of the Rebbe talks about Pidyon HaKoilel, the ultimate redemption, that is included with, with the union of Yosef, Moshe, and David. They were all mistalik in Rabbi. So just to remind that particular Indian that we said, that the Rebbe said that there are 24 heavenly Batei Dinim, courthouses, and when somebody does a pidyon, which is a redemption, a resolution to a certain din, so sometimes there's a resolution to one base din, but the din can be on a totally different court. So his pidyon doesn't help. But there is a top supernal redemption, a pidyon, pidyon alien, yes, that's the pidyon alien, that resolves everything. Now we said that sometimes, that this is a pidyon that you can't do. First of all, there's only one tzaddik in a generation that knows how to do it, and secondly, he cannot do it in any given time. It has to be es rotzon, like Shabbos b'mincha, which is rather the es rotzon, which signifies that's a portal into beyond time and place and above time and place. This is where Moshe Rabbeinu went up, where Yosef went up, David HaMelech went up. Now, the Rebbe says sometimes even when the tzaddik does the pidyon es rotzon, it doesn't help. Why? Because Mishamayim, being it's so precious, they use it for something else. What do they use it? They use it to make gerim, right? Because Moshe stands between shmad and rotzon, between oblivion and favor. The main thing is to elevate to shmad. How can shmad come into rotzon? How can a goy become a yid? I mean, it's like you need something which is beyond the teva. So that's why you see that Pesach and Shavuos, there is a culmination of Moshe, Yosef, which Moshe is the beginning of Pesach. Kriyas Yamsuf is Yosef, because the sea saw the Aron of Yosef and split, right? So the schuz of Moshe and Yosef. Shavuos is the Yosef of David HaMelech, who's Mistalik b'Mincha.
Shavuos is David HaMelech?
Yeah, it's the Yosef of David HaMelech. You have all three of them.
Hasa again? David HaMelech is the...
Shavuos. The Yosef of David HaMelech is Shavuos. So there were all these three tzaddikim. You need all these three tzaddikim in order to consider the pidyon alien to the Geula Shlema. The reason why Moshe could not have a Geula Shlema says Shlach Nabiat Tishlach, send the Yidden, send Mashiach to because I know I'm not going to finish it, is because David wasn't in the world yet. There was already Yosef, yeah, but Yosef and Moshe is not enough. It's enough to get the Torah. It's enough to start Yiddishkeit, but it's not enough to bring the Geula Shlema. This you need David HaMelech also. Mashiach will be included of all three of them. So in Pesach you have Moshe and Yosef. In Shavuos you have David HaMelech. You have all three of them. So what do you read on Shavuos? Guess what's what? She's a Giyar, she's a Korban, because if you use the pidyon to be Gaya Gerim. It all this is what he's saying.
I gotta write that one down.
It's written down. So let's read it again. Vakem b'Shavuos מביא שתי הלחם חומץ דייקה. זה בחינת תורה. כי פסח ושבועס קשורים זה בזה. Pesach and Shavuos are tied to one another. Mimachas HaShabbos ad Machas HaShabbos, from the morn of the Shabbos until the morn of the Shabbos. V'nichlal ha'matzah shel Pesach v'chometz shel Shavuos. Ha'matzah shel Pesach v'chometz shel Shavuos, they are included together, they're combined together. Shezeu b'chinas Torah, that constitutes Korban Torah. V'az Kori Rus, that's why you read Megillas Rus, שהגיע שצור מן הדוד משיח. שזה גם כן בעש רצון. ועל ידו יהיה נגמר בשלמות פדיון הפדיון הנ"ל. And through David HaMelech will come the pidyon הנ"ל. ועל ידי זה יפדה אותם מן הגולוס בגאולה שלמה. And this is also saying here, another Gevalim Yechidish. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. Rav Nosson is saying the Gevalim Yechidish that it's not so evident, it's not self-evident from the Torah itself. When you learn the Torah, So the Rebbe says, okay, listen, the 24, but they didn't. Okay, and not every tzaddik knows, each one has its own. It's okay. That was a sneeze, gesundheit. I know it's a funny sneeze, but what can I do? That's the way he does it. So. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll never do it again. Till the next time. Saying about the Chiddush. The Torah says that 24 batei dinim, and in order to sweeten them, you need to know each and every one of them. Let me just close the door, just in case. Just a second, please. Hello, it's me again. So he says that 24 batei dinim, each one has his own trial, his own resolution, his own pidyon that undoes, that cuts the Gordian knot in that particular, zichzach. Now he says there is a supernal pidyon that dissolves all of them. Then he comes and says, that it's so rare that sometimes, when the tzaddik that can do the pidyon HaKollel does it, it is so rare, so it doesn't help. Why? Because Mishamayim, they use it for something else. You go, whoa, time out. Why should they take it? Why should the Gerim take it? It's doing it fine, doing it for me, doing it for us, whatever, for Klal, so why should the Gerim take it? But now it is understood. Because it is through the Gerim that Mashiach comes. And Mashiach will bring the pidyon HaKollel in totality. And there will be Geula Shlema. So the bringing Gerim is a must for what you call a long-term strategy. For the pidyon to work for the right now, sometimes it's needed for the right now. This is a short-term strategy. But in Shemayim, sometimes they have a long-term strategy. So right now, the specific Yeshua may not come. But what's going to happen is there's an influx of Gerim, and they bring Mashiach, which bring the Geula Shlema, which means the ultimate victory. As Roosevelt used to say, unconditional surrender. Finish. Wow. This is not evident in the Torah. It's not clears it. Wow. ועל ידי זה הבדל אותו מהגלות וגאולה שלמה. כמו שכוסף ועד עתיק יומין ממטה, until the עתיק יומין will come. על כן יומין בליל שבוע, that's why you are awake in ליל שבועס. כי אז נשלם בחינס הפדיון. This is when the union of pidyon is being completed. שהוא בחינס הסוירס השיינו, that's the awakening from a sleep. ואתה כל חיוסינו על ידי משה שעומד בשמנו also, and right now, our entire chayas is through Moshe, the fact that Moshe is standing between Shmad and Ratzon, between oblivion and favor. Shemale kol echad bechol yom mikol ma she'over alav. That elevates each and every one of us, every single day, from whatever it is that is going over, each that transpires in our lives. And more than anything, in the union of money and parnasa, that when one, is blemishes in that particular union, that's the union of oblivion. And from there he elevates you each and every time at that particular bechina. That's why you have to eat more Pesach. And they made their lives bitter in hard work. שהוא מרירס ותירחס ותירדס הפרנסה והמומה. That's that hard work that we're talking about that the Mitzrayim, they brought them into incredible tirches and tirdas of parnasa and mammon and money and parnasa. Shibchinas merirusa de alma. That's the bitterness of this world. She'yef shalom tika, that is not possible to sweeten it kima de melach except through salt. Shubchinas tibul. This is when you plunge it. Vatabat binu charoisis. Now what do? You took the charoisis and you dip in charoisis. What is charoisis? Chas rus. Chas rus. Chas is mishon the Kodesh Baruch Hu the chas rachmon Allah. The Kodesh Baruch Hu rachmon Allah. We say chas v'shalom. Chas mishon had rachmon. Kodesh Baruch Hu rachmonis and everything is shalom. That's chas v'shalom. Chas rus means that rachmon the Kodesh Baruch Hu has rachmonis on us. With the koyach of that tzaddik, who is Prinus Mashiach, it comes out of Rus. This is charoisis. It's chasrus. Chasrus. He said he had rachmonos. He pardoned us and rachmonos. And what is chas v'shalom? What is chas v'shalom? What does it mean? Shalom, you know what it means. What is chas? When you said something that is that should not happen. So you say, "May HaKadosh Baruch Hu have rachmonos," and it shouldn't happen. Everything will be shalom. So it's chas. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have rachmonos. Yeah. It's like when let's say that there's an animal taken to the slaughter, and you see the behemoth and you have rachmonos and you save it. You don't take it to slaughter. She says, so you're chas on this behemoth, and if you have money in your pocket, you don't want to save it. She says, you're chas on the money which on in your pocket, you don't want to spend it. You know, so this is the action of having rachmanas. So charoisis is chas rus is the oasis of Kodesh Baruch Hu, rachmanas, and brought to the world rus from whom Mashiach comes out. Because the main sweetening of the Pidyon Elyon, Nimshach al Yedei Torah, it comes through the conduit of the Torah, the mechanisms of the Torah, Shenidreshes ב-13 midas, that is dashed in 13 midas. Shem Bchina 13 tikkunei dikno, that's the 13 tikkunei dikno shemisham ha-Pidyon. This is where the Pidyon comes from. V'chen ha-Tfilah, and also the Tfilah. That's why the tefillah that is also in Kigam is also 13. Why? In the tefillah itself, we are saying the 13 midas that we dash in the Torah with, the 13 principles. We also say 13 shvachim. You know, Hashem Kelachom Chanum is also 13 midas. We're saying Veikar Kol Seder Atfila, the whole Seder Hayoim, and the entire tefillah, the entire day, Ubroches Voidoes Bchinas Torah. It's constitutes thanking and gratitude, which is the union of Torah. Kimvochim Akol Dovo, because you're making a bracha on everything. All the brachas that you're making, from the beginning to the end. You wake up in the morning, barabim barabum, bracha, 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 you eat, bracha, everything you do, the davening is bracha. What are all these brachas? It's hoides, common Torah. This is Torah v'yidah. You're all the time, you're elevating to the you're aiming for the Pidyon Elyon canal. וזה סימפלון ה' וזה בחינס ויקבור אותו בגיא מול בייס פאור, that הקדוש ברוך הוא buried Moshe Rabbeinu in the valley opposite Beis Peor, which is the base of Avodah Zarah. What is it? Why is it called Beis Peor? Peor means, you know, like opening its jaws, like that's Peor. You know, you're opening your mouth. It's Peor piv. שבכל זמן שפאור רוצה לסעור, every time that Peor wants to awaken, and open up its mouth and indict Am Yisrael. This is the melach of Peor. Oymed Moshe Kenegdo, Moshe is standing against it, you know, to bring it down. Kamo b'tos of Saita, it says in the Gemara in Maseches Saita, in Daf Yudal, B'Shem HaMedrash Kanal. Ki Moshe nikbar b'bchinas Rava de Ravin. Moshe Rabbeinu was buried in this bechina of the will of wills, the ultimate, the superior favor. Shemisham HaPidyon al. This is where the Pidyon comes. That he brings up from Shmad, from oblivion, B'Bchinas Peor, that there's indictments of B'Chinas Rotzim, the favor. U'Moshe Alaylo Elokim. The U'Moshe is Oisius Mashahu. Mashahu is epe something. B'Chinas Nekudas HaMashu Sheben Chometz L'Matzah. That's something in Chometz L'Matzah. As we said, that Chometz, between Chometz and Matzah, is the same letters, except that in Matzah there's a Hey, and in Chometz there's a Ches. There's a Mem Tzadik in both of them, right? Now, what's the difference between a Ches and a Hey? It's a little chupchik, the left leg of the Hey, between, there's a Revach, there's an air between this and the roof, right? That in Ches it's connected. In Hey, it's not, doesn't go all the way up to the end, to the roof. That little space is the Mashahu. This is U'Moshe's Oishis Mashahu. That's little Mashahu within Chometz and Matzah. Shezeh B'chinas Kutzados Dala. That's the dot in the back of the Dala, the Echad. Shadezeh Ma'aleh Mishmad L'Rotzen. This is how you elevate from Shmad to Rotzen. That's why it says the Moshe is called. Why it's called from the water. I have saved him. I've saved him from limshos. I've pulled him. Vayela Kaman. He says, and see, we'll learn later on about this Indian. Zeh B'chinas Mitzvahs Kriyat Shema. This is the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema. Sheikara Emunah, that's the essence of Emunah. Hepech B'Dazara El Acher B'chinas Shmad. The Kriyat Shema is the essence of the Emunah, the opposite of idolatry, a foreign god, which is oblivion. Kikar Achdus, the main Achdus, the Kodesh Baruch Hu is Echad, is one thing, that even good and bad is all one there. This is how the pidyon can work, because ultimately in the beyond time and place of Kodesh Baruch Hu, everything is good. By us, that we live in time, in time and place. So if it hurts, it's bad. If it's good, it's if it's sweet, then it's good. But that doesn't necessarily, we are grown-ups. We know that it's not always true, right? So the same thing, when you go infinite madregas above us, we are all children. That we want our candy and we don't want to get injections. We don't get inoculated. But by the Kodesh Baruch Hu, everything is echad. From there can come down Toka. Because the main unity of B'chinas Kutzados Dalas the echad. That's the dot in the back of the dalet of the word echad. שהוא בחינת צדק, as the Tikkunim said, שהוא בחינת נקודת Moshe shema lekana. That's a nekudah of Moshe that is standing on the cusp between Shmad and Ratzon, between oblivion and favor, and gives the koyach, because he turns Acher to Echad, because it's Reish to Dalet. So the Acher to Echad, he's standing. That's everything depends on that dot. You take it away, it's Acher. You put it back, it's Echad. So this is Moshe Omed ben Shmad Lerotzon. He's between Reish and Dalet. He's the difference maker.
And Hey and Chas also.
No, right now is Echad. We're talking about the Dalet the Echad. The Ches and the Hey is in Chometz and Matzah.
Yeah.
It's the same dot. It is the same dot. The same dot. Applying to the B'chinas Hashem or Elokim. What is when Hashem or Elokim? Elokim is Gematria Teva. It's nature. Shehashgocha ve'ha'esek. In other words, the divine providence and the status that you do, hakol echad, everything is one. Ki hateva b'chinas Elokim nichlal b'hashgocha. Because nature, represented by Elokim, which is, judgment and process, is included in Hashgocha, which is beyond Teva, beyond everything. This is, blessed be the name of the honor of Hashem's kingdom for Eloim Voed. Bivchinos yichud et Torah. But this is the lower yichud. Shegam bezeh ha'olam, even in this world, sheyesh b'utos hateva, that has the, you can think that the nature rules. But we know Shegam b'chol ha'olam hatachtonim, also in all the lower realms. B'chol ha'madregas hatachtonis, in all the very, very low rungs, even the Tumah itself. Baruch u'mevoirach Shem kvod malchus ha'olam voed. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is blessed forever. No, the void is what is void? L'olam, said l'olam, it's forever. What do you void? What's void? Because there is a continuation beyond the physical time, and that is what you call a mathematical continuation. Things come, like when if a cup falls off the table and breaks down on the floor, so this comes before this. This, it's not just in the realm of time. In principle, also, one of the physical principles that I think Newton said that chaos always follows order. Chaos follows order. Order cannot follow chaos, which means the glass, which is order, it's a glass, it falls out and smashes, it's chaos. But chaos, a broken cup from the floor, doesn't jump and becomes a cup on the table. So this is impossible. So this, it's called entropy, the rule of entropy, which, by the way, blows the whole theory of evolution off the face of the earth. How can an eye come about? How can they say one of the people that one of the rules in evolution is that two things cannot happen at once. Snake is dafka the snake, which is Metzach HaNochosh, is the proof that mindless evolution is impossible. Because, which means evolution that just by itself, it so happens, is impossible, because a snake that has venom has fangs. If he doesn't have venom, it does not have fangs. It has these teeth, but he doesn't have fangs. He doesn't have fangs. Yeah. So, how could that mechanism be invented? According to evolution, only one thing at a time can happen. So first of all, the fangs will be created, and then the venom will be created. But there are no snakes, venomous snakes without fangs. So mapitom the fangs would be created. What would happen? And the same and vice versa. If there's no fangs, venom cannot happen. So fangs with venom means that both of them have to happen at the same time, because they cannot be one without the other. So that itself drops the whole thing of evolution, because it can't be. So there is a certain order of things, which means that this is a Zman the principle, not Zman by the clock, that the fact that the glass smashes and becomes chaos, and chaos does not become a glass again, is a time in principle, in theory. This follows that, logically. It's not this follow that, you finish and then you get up and you leave. It's a derivative of that, but it's a theoretical derivative. This is called theoretical time. This is the order of things, when one thing comes after the other. If somebody, hurts your feelings, you become angry. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a principle, there's a principle involved. Yeah, it has to happen, for this to actually happen, it has to happen within the realm of time. But this is what they call Soveva Mesovav. So this is void. Moshe Olam means in time. Void also beyond time, in theoretical time, in all the order of the because one of the things that people fail to understand, because they bring to the table this really, primitive tfisa of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. What does it mean Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere? He's here, and he's here, and he's also. What about there? Yeah, he's also here. That's not the way Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. It's not that he's included in everything; that he is everything. So, but if you want to understand it on a principle level, okay, how do you say that Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere on the principle level, which is parallel to what I said now? There's time on a theoretical level that it's like Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. The way 2 + 2 is 4 everywhere. It's not like, is it here? 2 + 2 is 4. Yeah. The 2 also, it has nothing to do with here or here. It's a principle. It is everywhere. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a principle. He's everywhere. The way 2 + 2 is 4 everywhere.
Same thing. Everything.
So it's both in the Gashmis level and both in the theoretical level. So it says Boshek V'Al Malchusa La'Olam. This is the Gashmis time, time-space continuum, as they say. Void also in a theoretical in progressions. Bo Shenk V'Al Malchusa Baruch V'Vayroch Shenk V'Al Malchusa La'Olam Void. That can to be continued tomorrow. I got sucked into.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry about that.